I have a pad just like this one, although it's unsigned. And I believe I get to take this one home with me.
No, that's Hawley.
Hawley gets to take that one home with me. Dang!
But what do you like about them?
I love them. I think that Ollie stays a lot cooler in them than he does in a cotton pad. The cotton ones just kind of absorb it and then sit there, which has been fine. But now that we have something better, it's great. And I love my cross-country boots. They don't slip at all or rub at all. They're super.
I use ECOGOLD pads actually on a daily basis. One, I like the way they look, and two, my horses are all different shapes and sizes, and they look good on them, but the biggest thing is they don't slip. And that to me is huge. Like my Livingston horse has withers like this, and then 5 o'clock somewhere's back is like this, and it just doesn't matter. And I'm a big turnout and looking good person, and let me tell you, I get compliments on these pads every single time I go. And they have a Canadian flag on them, which I like.
I think Hawley and I have our horses on the same spring schedule this year. A couple advanced in a CIC and then off to Badminton if all goes well. Yes. And then as far as for myself after that, Ollie won't do a fall 3-day in 2011. I want to give him those months where he's not having to do all the galloping and all the fitness work. We'll still work really, really hard on our technical and dressage and show jumping and have lots and lots of lessons, but sort of save the body a little bit by not having to do the fitness work for a 3-day. Then Rolex 2012, and then Edinburgh for the big L.
I'm kind of the same plan. You know, do some horse trials in the spring, and then hopefully get the money and funding and go to Badminton. And then with Gin and Juice, she really, I mean, if I can get her dressage, I think she's going to be really hard, you know, to be very competitive. So we're going to focus on jumper shows, dressage, and then actually have her full brother, 5 o'clock somewhere, who is a little champ. My focus is going to switch to him, because hopefully get him qualified and go to Pan Am Games this fall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, individual and team.
Hey.
And
for one of us.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Like Germany on the flat. Yeah. Like you gotta be up to par with them. Mm-hmm. And like we got our homework. We got the horses to do it, but you know, like they're like 14 steps ahead of us, and somehow we got to catch up. Because I mean, if you're that far back on dressage, that's a huge gap, you know. And I think, you know, we have the talent to do it. And to me, it's the Germans, and then you got the Brits who are going to be on their home turf, and you got the Americans who are going to have something to prove.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't very happy with Wag, so you know they're going to be fired up. So it's good. I think we're worried about everyone.
Yeah, well, I just don't think you can argue with the way that Great Britain does things. I mean, their developing rider program and the way that they support those team riders, and that is their full-time job. It just is an example of how much more developed and how much more serious the sport is over there. And it, I think, is what every other program strives for, but they have the resources, and a lot of others don't. So. But yeah, absolutely. If you're relying on the Germans to make mistakes in order to beat them, there's a serious thing to address in our flat work, because they're not going to make mistakes next time, and we're going to be 10, 15 points behind their dressage, and there's just no way. So everybody's going to be working hard on their individual bogeys, and we'll see what happens.
And
I think the main reason is, like, all our horses, literally if we went to Kentucky again, it'd be their 3rd time running around Kentucky within a year. And for me, I mean, I'd love to be able to go, and if I obviously don't go Badminton, I'll go back to Kentucky. But Badminton is Badminton. Like, I was lucky enough to go in 2007 and galloped around and to jog up in front of the Badminton house and to have breakfast with Mary King in the morning. Like, it was unreal, you know. And I think this time I'm on a probably more competitive horse on the flat, and I'm going to not just canter around this time. Like I'm going to go for some prize money and a blue ribbon.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been overseas to an event, so for me, a lot of this is experience, and even though there's a new course designer at Kentucky, I understand the whole not running the same event again and again. But if the grants aren't big enough and I can't fundraise enough, then I'm going to be going back to Kentucky. It's, I think the budget for the 2009 Blenheim Burley trip was almost 30 grand, so it's a lot of money. And obviously I'd love to go. I would like to do as many 4-stars, as many different 4-stars as possible on this horse, because who knows if I'll ever get another.
I just want to say, like, the first time I went around being it on Hank, who was like, it's the same as Ollie, you know, I've had him since he was 4, and you know you can make a mistake and you're going to be fine, and to be able to do badminton, your first badminton on him, like, that's who you want to be on.
Absolutely, you know, and so. I just feel like it's going to be so much fun, and I really desperately want to go, and we're working hard to raise the money so that even if the grant isn't as big as I need it to be, we'll have what we need to go.
What are you doing to this?
Ollie's breeder's nephew is doing a fundraiser for us in Maple Ridge, BC. His name's Jack Polo. For you BCers who see this, it's at Maple Ridge Equus Sports Center, and I believe it's coming up here in the next month. It'll be on the website there, and it's a derby cross, so it'll be lots of fun, and I think they're going to do a pub night at the little pub there too. So it's very exciting that we've got people at home getting involved. But yeah, I'm just excited for the experiences and to get to do as much as I can.
I didn't actually.
What?
Hey,
it's January.
These are important things.
I know. It is Easter, so I think you could, go somewhere with that. Not a bunny outfit or anything, but just like pretty, something really pretty that you might. I don't know. Yeah, of course you have your outfit.
Obviously, we are doing one of the most dangerous sports out there, but all the course designers, organizers are always making the steps in the right direction. We got, frangible pins. We have the foam logs. I'm a big believer in wearing air vests. I think that's one of the best inventions ever. So I think, our sport is stepping in the right direction in several areas for safety. Everything. I wouldn't just narrow it down to one thing.
Yeah, I think if you have the technology, you kind of have an obligation to use it. And I'm not, I'm not an engineer, and but I think that the people who do know the physics of it all have a practical use for it. And if we have the technology, I think we're obligated to at least try it out. So I'm excited to see the new developments, and as people sort of start to see things in action and the improvements for it. But I think that it is our responsibility in a dangerous sport to do everything we can to keep, first of all, ourselves and our horses safe, but if we want the sport to grow, it has to stay out of the, danger zone as far as that. You can't have people and horses getting hurt if you want the sport to grow. So. I don't know. I think they're more aware of those situations where somebody would need to be pulled up, and I think they've improved the communication systems for when someone's actually needing to be pulled up. But I think it's all just education. But I couldn't tell you statistically if now versus 5 years ago, if, I don't know, that'd be complicated.
Okay.